The 1950s and 1960s marked a transformative era in Hollywood, a time when the silver screen's portrayal of masculinity evolved from the noble, unshakable heroes of classic cinema into something far more complex, vulnerable, and electrifying. Gone were the days of one-dimensional knights in shining armor. In their place emerged a new breed of leading men, brooding rebels, smoldering anti-heroes, and sophisticated intellectuals who mirrored the changing tides of society. This was the era of Marlon Brando's raw intensity, James Dean's restless rebellion, and Steve McQueen's stoic cool. It was a time when Paul Newman's piercing blue eyes and Sean Connery's dangerous charm redefined what it meant to be a leading man. Meanwhile, actors like Gregory Peck and Sidney Poitier brought quiet strength and moral conviction to the screen, while Cary Grant and Rex Harrison dazzled audiences with razor-sharp wit and effortless sophistication. These men didn't just play characters. They embodied the anxieties, desires, and shifting ideals of post-war America and beyond. They challenged traditional notions of masculinity, introducing vulnerability, sensuality, and psychological depth to roles that had once demanded stoic heroism alone. From the rise of method acting to the birth of the anti-hero, the 1950s and 1960s revolutionized how men were portrayed in film, and their influence still resonates in Hollywood today. This is the story of the legendary actors who didn't just dominate the box office, they changed the very definition of a movie star. When the lights dimmed and the screen flickered to life, Marlon Brando's face changed everything. He wasn't just an actor, he was a revolution in motion. Trained in New York under Stella Adler, Brando brought method acting to Hollywood, making his mark with A Streetcar Named Desire. On the stage and screen, his raw, magnetic Stanley Kowalski redefined masculinity, fractured, vulnerable, and real. In The Wild One, Brando became the face of rebellion, and in On the Waterfront, he delivered the iconic "I Could Have Been a Contender," earning his first Oscar. Brando's performances were electric and unpredictable, blending toughness with deep emotion. He challenged old Hollywood archetypes, inspiring actors to be fearless and authentic. Roles in Julius Caesar, Viva Zapata, and Mutiny on the Bounty showed his range. In 1972, he became Don Vito Corleone in The Godfather, cementing his legacy. Brando's influence endures. He redefined the leading man and left a mark on cinema that will never fade. James Dean was born in 1931 in Marion, Indiana. After losing his mother at a young age, he was raised by his aunt and uncle on a farm, where his love for acting began to take root. Dean moved to New York City to pursue his passion, studying under legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. His raw talent and brooding presence quickly set him apart. He skyrocketed to fame with unforgettable performances in East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant. Each role captured the restless spirit and vulnerability of a generation. Though his life was tragically cut short at just 24, James Dean became a cultural icon. His rebellious image, emotional depth, and timeless style continue to inspire artists and audiences around the world. Paul Newman was more than just a Hollywood heartthrob. He was a legendary actor, director, philanthropist, and race car driver, rising to fame in the 1950s and 60s with unforgettable performances in films like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, The Hustler, and Cool Hand Luke. Newman captivated audiences with his piercing blue eyes and magnetic screen presence. Off-screen, he shared a remarkable 50-year marriage with actress Joanne Woodward, forming one of Hollywood's most enduring partnerships. Beyond his cinematic achievements, Newman was deeply committed to philanthropy, founding Newman's Own, a food company that has donated hundreds of millions to charity. His legacy endures not only through his iconic roles, but also through his generosity and unwavering dedication to making the world a better place. Born Archibald Leach in Bristol, England, Cary Grant became the embodiment of Hollywood sophistication and wit. With his trademark charm, impeccable comic timing, and debonair style, Grant captivated audiences for decades. He starred in classics like Bringing Up Baby, His Girl Friday, and The Philadelphia Story, mastering screwball comedy with effortless grace. In Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest and To Catch a Thief, Grant brought suspense and intrigue to new heights, blending humor with a cool, unflappable presence. His influence on Hollywood is immeasurable, setting the standard for leading men with his unique blend of elegance, vulnerability, and charisma. Cary Grant remains an icon, forever defining the golden age of cinema. Gregory Peck was the embodiment of dignity and quiet strength in Hollywood's golden era. Born in 1916 in La Jolla, California, Peck's journey to stardom began on the stage before he made his film debut in the 1940s. He became a household name with unforgettable performances in films like To Kill a Mockingbird, where his portrayal of Atticus Finch earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor. Peck also starred in classics such as Roman Holiday, The Guns of Navarone, and Spellbound, showcasing his remarkable range. Throughout his career, Peck was honored with numerous awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and was celebrated for his humanitarian work. His legacy endures as a symbol of integrity, both on and off the screen, inspiring generations of actors and audiences alike. Born in 1930, Steve McQueen rose from a troubled childhood to become one of Hollywood's most magnetic stars. Known as the King of Cool, McQueen's journey began with small television roles before his breakout in the late 1950s. His rugged charm and understated style captivated audiences in TV's Wanted, Dead or Alive, paving the way for a legendary film career. McQueen starred in classics like The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape, and Bullitt, where his cool demeanor and physical presence redefined the Hollywood leading man. Off-screen, McQueen was a passionate racer, competing in motorcycles and cars, and his love for speed became part of his legend. Despite his fame, McQueen's personal life was marked by turbulence, 3 marriages, struggles with addiction, and a constant search for meaning. Even as his health declined, McQueen's legacy endured. He passed away in 1980, but his influence on film and pop culture remains unmatched. To this day, Steve McQueen is remembered as the ultimate anti-hero, an icon of style, rebellion, and timeless cool. John Wayne, born Marion Robert Morrison in 1907, became one of the most enduring icons of American cinema. Rising to fame in the 1930s, Wayne's rugged charm and commanding presence made him the face of the Western genre for decades. Known as the Duke, he starred in over 170 films, with unforgettable performances in classics like Stagecoach, Red River, and The Searchers. Wayne's portrayal of stoic, principled heroes captured the spirit of the American frontier and defined the archetype of the cowboy for generations. Beyond westerns, he excelled in war films and dramas, earning an Academy Award for his role in True Grit. Off-screen, Wayne was a symbol of American values and resilience, leaving a legacy that continues to shape Hollywood and the image of the American hero. Sean Connery, born in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1930, rose from humble beginnings to become one of cinema's most enduring icons. His breakthrough came in 1962 when he was cast as James Bond in Dr. No. With a dangerous charm and a panther's grace, Connery created the blueprint for the modern spy hero, a perfect blend of brutality and sophisticated wit. He would go on to play 007 in 6 more official films, including From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and Thunderball, forever defining the role for generations to come. But Connery's talents extended far beyond Bond. He starred in acclaimed films such as The Man Who Would Be King, Murder on the Orient Express, and Robin and Marion. In 1987, his performance as a tough Irish cop in The Untouchables earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Later, he captivated audiences as Indiana Jones's father in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and as the wise mentor in The Hunt for Red October. Throughout his career, Sean Connery was celebrated for his commanding presence, rugged charisma, and unmistakable Scottish brogue. He remains a legend, not just as the original 007, but as one of the greatest leading men in film history. Sidney Poitier was a true pioneer in Hollywood, rising from humble beginnings in the Bahamas to become the first black man to win the Academy Award for Best Actor. His breakthrough role in The Defiant Ones earned him an Oscar nomination, but it was his powerful performance in Lilies of the Field that made history in 1964. Poitier's presence on screen challenged stereotypes and opened doors for generations of actors of color. He starred in iconic films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, In the Heat of the Night, and To Sir with Love, each time bringing dignity, intelligence, and humanity to his characters. Off-screen, Portrayed was a vocal advocate for civil rights, using his influence to push for greater diversity and representation in film. His legacy endures as a symbol of progress, breaking barriers and inspiring countless artists to follow in his footsteps. Montgomery Clift was one of Hollywood's most gifted and enigmatic leading men. His acting style was revolutionary, marked by vulnerability, emotional depth, and a quiet intensity that set him apart from his contemporaries. He made his film debut in 1948's Red River, but it was his roles in A Place in the Sun, From Here to Eternity, and The Misfits that cemented his legacy as a master of nuanced, internalized performances. Clift's collaborations with stars like Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe became legendary, and his on-screen chemistry was undeniable. Off-screen, Clift struggled with personal demons, battling inner turmoil, the aftermath of a devastating car accident, and the pressures of fame. Despite his struggles, Montgomery Clift's legacy endures as a symbol of raw talent, sensitivity, and the haunting beauty of a true Hollywood original. Humphrey Bogart, born in 1899, became one of Hollywood's most enduring legends. Known for his distinctive voice and tough guy persona, Bogart's career spanned over 3 decades, but it was the 1940s and 50s that cemented his legacy. Rising to fame with roles in classics like Casablanca, The Maltese Falcon, and To Have and Have Not, Bogart defined the archetype of the hard-boiled, morally complex hero. His on-screen chemistry with Lauren Bacall became legendary, both in film and real life. Bogart's performances brought depth and vulnerability to characters who might otherwise have been mere anti-heroes. He won an Academy Award for The African Queen, showcasing his remarkable range. Even decades after his passing in 1957, Bogart's influence endures. He remains a symbol of classic Hollywood, inspiring generations of actors and filmmakers with his unforgettable presence and timeless style. Rex Harrison was the embodiment of English charm and urbane wit, a leading man who brought sophistication and subtlety to every role he played. Born in 1908 in Huyton, Lancashire, England, Harrison began his acting career on the British stage, quickly earning recognition for his sharp intellect and effortless presence. His transition to film in the 1930s marked the start of a remarkable career that would span over 5 decades. Harrison rose to international fame with his portrayal of Professor Henry Higgins in the stage and film adaptations of My Fair Lady, a role that became his signature and earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor. With his distinctive half-sung, half-spoken delivery, he brought a unique blend of humor, arrogance, and vulnerability to the character, qualities that became hallmarks of his screen persona. Beyond My Fair Lady, Harrison's filmography is rich with memorable performances, including Cleopatra, Anna and the King of Siam, and Dr. Dolittle. Off-screen, he was renowned for his quick wit, sharp tongue, and impeccable sense of style, traits that made him a favorite among colleagues and audiences alike. On both stage and screen, Harrison's influence was profound. He set a new standard for the English leading man, cultured, clever, and endlessly charismatic. His legacy endures in the elegance and intelligence he brought to every performance, inspiring generations of actors to follow in his footsteps as the artful charmer of British cinema. Yul Brynner was a man who defied every Hollywood convention, magnetic, mysterious, and instantly recognizable. Born in 1920 in Vladivostok, Russia, to a Swiss-Mongolian father and a Russian mother, Brynner's early life was as dramatic as any of his films. He spent his youth traveling across Europe and Asia, working as a circus acrobat and musician before turning to acting. But it was his decision to shave his head for the role of King Mongkut in Rodgers and Hammerstein's The King and I that transformed him into an icon. The bald look became his signature, an emblem of power, confidence, and otherworldly charisma. On stage and on screen, Brynner's commanding presence made him unforgettable. He played King Mongkut more than 4,600 times, winning both a Tony and an Academy Award for the role. His performance was a complex blend of authority, wit, and vulnerability, redefining what it meant to be a leading man. Brynner's talents didn't stop there. As the enigmatic Pharaoh Ramesses in The Ten Commandments, he faced off against Charlton Heston's Moses with regal intensity. In The Magnificent Seven, he led a band of misfit gunslingers with stoic resolve, cementing his status as a Hollywood legend. Other notable roles in Anastasia, Westworld, and Taras Bulba showcased his remarkable versatility and magnetic appeal. Off-screen, Brynner was just as compelling, a polyglot, a photographer, and a passionate advocate for humanitarian causes. His unique heritage and striking persona broke barriers in an era of typecasting, paving the way for more diverse representations in Hollywood. Yul Brynner's legacy is one of transformation and trailblazing style. His unforgettable performances, iconic look, and undeniable screen presence made him a true king of cinema. Decades later, his influence endures in every actor who dares to be different and every story that celebrates the power of individuality. As the credits roll and the lights dim, the legacy of Hollywood's golden era leading men continues to shine bright. Their images are burned into our collective memory, shaping not just the movies we love, but the very way we see heroism, vulnerability, and charisma on screen. These men, Brando, Newman, Poitier, McQueen, and so many others, did more than entertain. They redefined what it meant to be a leading man. They held a mirror up to a world in flux, reflecting its hopes, its flaws, and its dreams. And in doing so, they helped Hollywood and society evolve. They shattered the old black-and-white mold of the Hollywood hero, painting new portraits in complex, vivid shades of grey. As poets of the repressed and architects of cool, they became the last true kings of a kingdom built on dreams and daring. Their work laid the foundation for modern screen acting, their influence woven into the DNA of every performance that followed. Their legacy isn't a relic of the past, it's a living, breathing force that inspires new generations of actors and filmmakers. You see Brando's raw realism in today's most intense performances, McQueen's effortless cool in every stoic action hero, and Poitier's dignified strength in every actor who commands the screen with integrity and purpose. They set a standard of charisma, complexity, and star power that echoes through every era of cinema. They proved a leading man could be broken, dangerous, elegant, or noble, but never, ever dull. Their presence lingers not just in old movie palaces, but in every frame of film that dares to reach for greatness. They are the titans of an era defined by talent, innovation, and cultural transformation, a legacy that can never be replicated. Their faces are carved into the very monument of Hollywood, watching over the stories we continue to tell. Their influence is felt every time a new actor steps into the spotlight, hoping to capture even a fraction of their magic. Their performances still give us chills, reminding us of the power of great storytelling and unforgettable characters. Down in the comments, tell me, which of these legendary actors is your ultimate leading man? Whose legacy speaks to you the most? The story of Hollywood's golden era is written in their shadows and their light, a legacy that endures, inspiring us all to dream a little bigger.